Grace and peace, Rev C here. In this video, we are looking at how to handle false teachers. What is the biblical response to dealing with false teachings and false teachers? So we're going to waste no time. We're going to dig right in. And we're going to begin, we're going to look at the letter, the epistle of 2 John. 2 John comes right after 1 John and right before 3 John. So that's easy for you to find. 2 John, right? You got 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation. So we're looking at 2 John, and I'll start reading. We can just read through verse. Well, we'll just read the whole epistle. Now, some important things as we begin. 2 John was written probably around the late 80s to 90s AD. And in this epistle, John is writing to warn against the false teachers who deny the incarnation. Now, that's very important. The incarnation is a vital biblical essential doctrine. The incarnation, the infleshing of God into human history. Now, 2 John, let's look at verse 1. And I want us to notice the word truth, walk, love, command. We're going to look at some things here. Repetition in Bible study is vitally important. You want to look at things that are repeated. Look for terms that are repeated. So John says, the ha presbyteros, the elder, to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth. So notice, love in truth, who know the truth. And not only I, but also those who know the truth. For the sake of the truth, aletheia, truth, which abides in us, will be with us forever. Grace and mercy and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, in truth and love. I rejoiced. I jumped around. I was excited greatly to find some of your children walking in truth, just as we received commandment from the Father. Now I ask you, lady, Korea, not as though I were writing to you a new commandment, but the one which we have from the beginning, that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk according to his commands. This is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, that you should walk in it. Peripate, your conduct, your everyday manner of life. For many deceivers, planoi, many deceivers have gone out into the world. Those who do not confess, who are not confessing, present tense, Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh. That's the incarnation. This is the deceiver, the ha planas, kai, ha antichristos. The deceiver, the seducer, the trickster, and the antichrist. See to yourselves, blepete, heautus, that you do not lose heart, or you do not lose what we accomplish, but you may receive a full reward. Anyone who goes too far and does not abide in the teaching, the didache of Christ, does not have God. The one who abides in the teaching, he has both the Father and the Son. And these are the verses we're going to focus on. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, the one about the incarnation and Christ and God, do not receive him. Present active imperative. Stop receiving these people into your house and do not give him a greeting. Another command. For the one who gives him a greeting participates koinonia in his evil deeds. The tois ergois, tois ponerois. His evil deeds. His evil deeds. His morally perverse, twisted, wicked deeds. So false teachers here, what they're doing, John says these are wicked works, perverted works. And it's very important to realize that we are known for what we reject and for what we accept. We are known as people, believers, for what we accept or reject. Now, it's important to know, doing your observations here, that the word truth, aletheia, occurs 5 times here. Walk occurs 3 times. Love occurs 5. And then commands occurs 4 times here. So it's very, very important. Truth without love is legalism. Truth without love is legalism. And love without truth is libertarianism. Truth without love is legalism. And love without truth is libertarianism. The incarnation, the infleshing. So we're going to look at this. And so John tells us that we are not to receive the person. So in those days, they would receive hospitality with these traveling teachers. And John, all the way back in 1 John 2, in 1 John, he's dealing with these deceivers, these false teachers. They have gone out into the world, and he is worried that their false teaching is going to spread like a cancer, like a sickness. And so John says that when these false people bring these teachings to you, and so how do you spot a false teacher? You have to know the truth. You have to get into the Word of God yourself to know the truth so that you can spot a false teaching. To spot a false teaching. So he says, if anyone does not bring this teaching, do not receive them. Do not welcome them. Do not give them a warm greeting. Don't receive these people. For the one who gives them a greeting, a warm welcome, participates, shares in their evil deeds. So this is very, very important. We are even told false teaching is serious. We can't be light on false teaching. We can't compromise on false teaching. In Titus chapter 3, verse 10 and 11, watch this. Let me make this a little bigger here. Titus, Paul says, reject, avoid, shun a factitious man, a hierecton man, a man who choose. This word really means to choose for yourself. They're heretical. They're creating divisions. Shun, avoid, refuse a fictitious man after a first and second warning. So here, Paul says, you give them a chance, you give them a warning, but after those warnings, you are to reject them. This is imperative. Knowing that such a man, the one that he just described in verse 10, is perverted. They're turned around. They're not straight. They're not in orthodoxy. Knowing that such a man is perverted and is sinning. Present tense, they're sinning, and they are being self-condemned. This is how we are to treat false teachers. We warn them, we try to show them the error of their ways, but Paul says if they do not accept it, you reject this person. And then John later in his epistle says, don't even give them a greeting. Don't welcome these false teachers. False teaching is dangerous. There's so much false teaching out in the world, and it is dangerous. And so we cannot afford to play around with false teachers, with false doctrine. And then even in Romans 16, Paul talks about marking these people, drawing them out, drawing a circle on them, scoping them out. So we are to be serious about this. And so John says we have to be careful and watch for those people who masquerade as true Christianity. They're teaching these errors which masquerade as true Christianity. We are not to allow these into our homes. Reject them. Do not receive them. Do not give them hospitality. Well, I pray that this video has been a blessing to you. Just what to do with false teachers. Don't welcome them. Don't greet them. Reject them. Avoid them. Shun them. But you have to build up your spiritual health immunity by getting in the Word of God. This is Reb C saying God bless you, God keep you. I'll see you on the next video.